What is up, everybody? Getting Excel here. We're coming to you live. Just want to talk a little bit about the roguelike game mode. I didn't get to share my experience, so I wanted to go ahead and break that down a little bit. One of the reasons why I didn't share it earlier is because I think there's a lot of Easter eggs in the video. See, Ryan Jacobson, he's doing a really good job at just like throwing hints out there and stuff like that out there. And I was trying to see if we could digest some of that stuff, break some of that stuff down. I think there is one case especially that I have some traction on. I think I'm right on the nose. The other one still up in the air. That's one of the reasons why it took me a little bit of time to come out with a video, because I was seeing if I could really track this thing down and put some weight behind it, but I wasn't able to. I wasn't able to. So I'll show you what I have found up until this point. So give me just a second. I thought I was ready to rock. I thought I was ready to rock. Which I am. Let's see here. I just gotta find it. I know it's here. All right. Boom. We're in present mode. So we're going to talk about the video. We're not going to go and show you again. I know you've probably seen it a million times, so we're not going to replay everything because I know you probably already saw it. We're just going to go over the highlights. So we got Max here, senior technical designer. Cool dude. Cat seems like he's locked down. He's really dedicated to the cause. He wants to make good stuff. We love to see that, and we love meeting people, individuals just like this. Max, hopefully I can reach out to you, bro. We can have a little chat. It'd be good. It'd be dope. I really like the intensity. I like what he's bringing to the table. And the logo on the shirt. Now, this is the thing that I wasn't 100% dialed in on. I thought I was 100% dialed in on it, but I couldn't find an exact match, right? What I thought I found is what was bringing the intensity to the table at first. So what I thought this was a logo by another company that's really into like positivity, do hard things type of stuff, right? Like work hard, play hard, all that good type of stuff. Not really play hard, but just going 100%, giving it all you got, no matter what. And the logo that I thought that this was, that company, again, is really big into like, let's say you got to get this thing done and you don't know anybody else in the room. What are you going to do? Are you going to complain or are you guys going to work hard and work together? So I thought that that's what the company was. I thought that's why it had the bite mark there, right? Because how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So when something's tough, that's how you get it done. But again, I could not find the exact logo. I thought that I had it, and then on closer inspection, I was mistaken. So because of that, I guess I can't confirm or deny because I don't know. I don't know. There's some thought that it might be a triskelion. So triskelion is a Celtic symbol. So not like the Trinity, whatnot, but life, death, rebirth kind of thing, or changing of cycles in seasons. And so with the Age of Annihilus, we got that, right? With the Age of Annihilus, we got changing of cycles and seasons, right? New age, and there's going to be these chapters in it. So it might have something to do with that. Again, I don't know for sure. I don't know Max's heritage, but maybe I can reach out to him and maybe he can share some more with me. Max, if I'm on the right track, please let me know. If I'm on the wrong track, let me know so I can keep digging. Oh, this is good stuff. Now, one of the other things that was important that we saw in the broadcast was they went to the screen here before they started the danger room. They went to this screen here and we saw the Age of Annihilus Chapter 2 coming soon, right? And on that picture, we can see the Black Panther. We see Shuri. We got Kate Bishop. Okay. So we got Black Panther. We got Shuri. And we got Kate Bishop. So is this just a placeholder screen, or does this have something to do with what's going on, something to do with what's coming? I think it might most definitely have something to do with what is coming. How so? Well, let's think about where we are in the game and stuff like that. So we remember the Age of Annihilus, right? This is right from one of the blog posts. It's right from one of the blog posts. So we're in chapter 1 right now. So April, May, and June is chapter 1. So whatever team is coming next is still part of chapter 1. Okay. When we get to July, right? Same thing should apply, right? July, August, September. Right? July, August, September should be the next chapter. And in August, there is Black Panther related material that will be showing up. There is Black Panther related material coming out on Disney Plus. So it might coincide. It might coincide. Chapter 2, August will be part of chapter 2. There is Black Panther related material coming out on Disney Plus in August. So perhaps we will be getting some type of a Black Panther team. Maybe the reworks to Black Panther and Shuri. Kate Bishop, I don't know. I don't know if she'd be on that team. I couldn't find anything related to her. But let's just go what we know. What we do know is June 24th, we have Ironheart. So right now, we got Andor. And then I think there might be the Tales of the Underworld, if that didn't already come out. And I mean, Andor's pretty dope. It's good stuff. Good storyline. Star Wars. And then we'll be flipping over to Marvel. June 24th, we got Ironheart coming out on Disney Plus. Now, Riri in the Marvel universe, right? In the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Riri Williams, Ironheart. We saw in the second Black Panther movie, she was connected, but I think this is just way too early, right? I think this is just way too early. It's still part of the section that we're in right now, so I don't think it will be related to what's going on with the Black Panther. I don't think it will be related to Wakanda or anything of that nature. But August 6th, and you can look this up. This is on the IMDb website, right? You can see the website right there. I got doggies coming in. Eyes of Wakanda, August 6th. It's an animated show. It's coming out on Disney Plus. And I think the timing is right. Okay. So August 6th, Eyes of Wakanda. Maybe that indicates a new Wakandan team of some sort. The cast of characters in this show, as they've related so far, have to do with more of the guards and things of that nature. But it would be a good time thematically to introduce a new Wakandan team. And if that means rewrite or reworking Black Panther and reworking Shuri, I'm all for that. 100% of the time. Now, let's go ahead and get into what we saw regarding the Danger Room itself. One of the points that I wanted to bring out, because something I didn't put a lot of time into when I got to play the game mode, is these points right here. So you see 6 and 7 are calling out specific characters like Iron Patriot and Star-Lord, and it just gives those characters like a ridiculous stat bump, right? So just like the reworks, right? Whenever a team is reworked recently, we see percentage boost stat bumps like this, like 300, 400, 500% stat increases. So it looks like part of the strategy in the Danger Room could be to use one or two of those old characters, give them a ridiculous stat bump. I didn't get to try it. I'm just thinking about it now, and I think our opportunity to test it out is gone now. So I wasn't able to go back and look at it. I wanted to, but I think that might be part of the strategy. Okay, you can make a pretty strong team, overwhelming force. I wanted to try it. I forgot, so I did not. What I did do is I tried all the teams that were available, right? So I tried out the Thunderbolts. I tried out the Starjammers. I tried out the Vigilantes, and it worked out really good. You could make teams building around those. I mean, those are the main teams they're going to give you anyway. All of them worked. They were all viable. One's not necessarily better than the other because you're picking the characters and you're picking abilities. And so once you understand the teams, right, if you know how the team works, then you can start picking extra abilities that cater to that team. Okay. So for example, I think I had one that, I mean, all of them could have it. They basically, I think it was, I don't know if it was a Star Jammers, but if, let's say it was, for every Star Jammer you have, you put a bleed on the opposing team on spawn. On spawn. So that means if you had a full 5 team, that means 5 bleeds on every member of the opposing team on spawn. And then I had another ability that I found later on that somehow enhanced your damage. If you're attacking into bleed, right, then this happens. Kind of like Kestrel. If you're attacking in a defense down, then this happens. I had something, if you're attacking in the bleed, then this happens. And it was, yeah, it was incredible. You're not always going to be able to get something like that, but you want to be on the lookout for those combat modifiers, right? Those special abilities and things like that that are going to help you to take advantage of the situation and dominate things. Now, in the upper left-hand corner up there, I don't know if you can see it, but in this case, it says room 10 out of 17. So in this case, you got 17 rooms to go through. So you don't have a whole lot of time to figure out what you're trying to do. And that's part of the strategy, okay? Because you start out with 2 people. You start out with 2 people, like they got a Taskmaster here and Ghost is what they showed in the video. So that's 2 of the Thunderbolts. You're starting out with 2 people. You don't have a ton of time to figure out what you're trying to do. Okay. So one of the complaints that sometimes that I kind of already heard is like, well, they're just making us use these couple teams. They're just making us use these new teams. They want us to pay for them. Well, you can't use a ton of different teams because you only you don't have a lot of time. You started out with 2. So you need to build up to 5. So best case scenario, you play another node, you get another person, you play another node, you get another person. And if it goes like that, that's like 6 spots. So now you're already up to 6. In the illustration that they showed, it was out of 17. You got 11 left. And now, right? So now you have to, that's only if you got everybody you need, right? That just means you would have 5 people. That doesn't mean it's a synergistic 5. That doesn't mean it's a synergistic 5. It just means it's 5. So the amount of people they can pull from needs to be limited to a degree, or else you won't be able to build a proper team. So in DC Dark Legion, maybe some of you guys have played that. They have the Darkest Timeline, which is a similar thing. It's a roguelike setting. So all the characters in the game are available as something you could roll and pick up. And sometimes that makes it tough, right? It's cool, but sometimes it makes it tough because you can't build synergy, right? You can't build a team. You have to know what the characters can do so that if you start getting a team that's mismatched, you can just go for abilities, but you have to know what all the characters can do. That's the hard part, right? So this way, at least starting out, right, in this first iteration, if they're going to limit it to a few teams and then throw in a couple extra guys, that's probably fine. That's probably fine, because otherwise there'll be way too many combinations to choose from. What's going on, bro? Altanek, what's happening, my guy? What is going on? Thanks for stopping. Thanks for stopping. We're just talking about the roguelike. Just giving my experience, my breakdown at the, I know I'm coming in late, but we had some Easter eggs that I think that are interesting to talk about. So in that vein, you got to go with what you know. So they're keeping it the pool relatively small. Glad to hear you're having a good day, bro. I am. I'm also having a good day. They're keeping the pool relatively small. I got my notes back here. So those were just the points that I had. I have a couple notes that I want to add just to make sure I covered it all. We did not look at the video, but Matt at, I think that was his name. It was like 28 seconds. 28 seconds in, I think he said game modes with an S. I think he said game modes. I could be mistaken. But I think he said game modes. Correct me if I'm wrong. We go back and look at the video. So the way we progress is you got those choices. Like you said, you're going to add characters or combat modifiers. So we talked about how some of that might work. The game mode is ready. So when it comes out, they're taking feedback. So again, this is one of those opportunities where they learn from Battle World. Instead of taking 2 years to build it, and maybe it's not good, they're just going to build it. It's usable. It works. I think it's good. I'm having fun when I tried it. They're going to put it out. And then if you have feedback, give it to them and they will increase the depth of the game mode. Okay. So again, it's one of those times where you got to give that feedback. This sucks is not feedback. So you got to tell them why. Okay. If you don't like something, you got to tell them why. We went through my tinfoil hat. What else do we have? Oh, okay. So he thought that runs would take about 30 minutes, right? He thought that runs through would take about 30 minutes. And there were some people that disagreed with that. But we got to remember, some of us, we're playing on a test server, right? So we're playing on a test server, meaning we have all the characters available and they're strong, right? They're maxed out if that's what we want them to be. So most of us, that's not going to be the case, right? We're using our roster. So that 30 minutes, we'll see, is probably more realistic than some have said, because we're using our roster. So our teams are not going to be as strong as we were using in the test server. And there's going to be some trial and error and figuring out what's working and what's not. So especially in the beginning, it might take a little time, and that's fine, right? That's fine. It said that somehow there's going to be milestones and leaderboards involved. So the milestones we get from completing the sections, leaderboards, to me, usually leaderboards indicate money. They're not, it doesn't look like there's anything to necessarily sell you inside the game mode, I don't think. But people that have all the characters, right? That's where the free to play versus the pay to play is going to come in. If you have all the characters, you have more options. So when the game mode comes out, free to play side, we're not going to have the Thunderbolts, right? We're not going to have the Thunderbolts. So that's a team that's off the table, which is fine. Right? If you know that those aren't even characters you're going for, that should make the decision easier. If you know all you can pick from, because you're free to play, is Starjammers or Vigilantes, then those will be the two that you pick, right? And if you see a Thunderbolt character, you're not going to pick them because you don't have all of them, and that's fine, right? In my mind, it just solidifies what you're going to do. So just keep that in mind, okay? So Victoria Hand, we know that people weren't super impressed, so they didn't buy her, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We're not saying buy her. There's nothing wrong with that. But since if we're on the free to play side and we're not going to pick her up, just remember, it doesn't make any difference anyway if you don't have the teams. You could rent them. Like they said, there was those rental tokens. We'll get 5 a day. So maybe when we get closer to having three out of the 5 characters, maybe that might be worth it. But initially, we got to remember that it's our roster, normal people roster. Are you hype for Hyperion? I am, dude. Hyperion is the man. I see what you did there. I am. I'm interested to see what impact he has on the game. I like the team. The team's cool. Hyperion's pretty dope. And I think they let us play with him a little bit in the battle world, didn't they? On one of those nodes. I think he was in the battle world. Difficulty selector. So we think about like with legendary events and stuff right now. Right? You can bring that difficulty selector down in the raids. So everybody should be able, the overwhelming majority of people should be able to score points at some level in the danger room. It's already demonstrated they can do that. So what that means, I don't know. They didn't have scoring in there. We couldn't really see how the scoring worked. It said it's going to take characters from Blitz, War, Crucible, Defense, and I can't remember the word that he used, but they said it's not AI, right? They said it's not AI. I mean, in my mind, it is some type of an artificial intelligence, but it's not what we're thinking about today as far as generative AI goes, right? So you think about like Chat GPT and stuff like that. It's not that. It's not that. And that's good. Why? because anybody who's used this stuff, right? I love that stuff. I love AI. It's pretty dope, but sometimes it just makes stuff up, right? Procedurally generated. Thank you. Procedurally generated. Thank you. So it is a technology that they've had. I'm going to say that it is probably to an extent some type of artificial intelligence that they are using, but it's not the same thing as generative AI, because generative AI just be making stuff up, right? Fingers get wrong. People got extra teeth, like Diablo 3 or Diablo 2. But I haven't played it. Does it just invent a new dungeon every time you move to the next screen? But yeah, so many of us have been using that stuff. It just makes stuff up. And if you in a game like this, it can maybe think you're better than you are, or right, and all of a sudden there's an apocalypse, two Dormammu, two Mephisto on the other side of the board, and your run's over, and it'll think that that's okay. So it's random, right? If it's generative AI, it's random, and that's the point of a generative AI, is to be random. For something like this, you want randomness with control. So like Althanax said, procedurally generated, much better, because at least there's parameters on it. It's random in the sense that, hey, we're going to give you these choices, but you're locked to these choices. And hopefully it also means they can go in and look at it, see what's working, what's not working, if they need to move something around difficulty wise, because said that each people they assign difficulties to the different defensive compositions. Boom. No, I like that. That's good stuff. And the game's popular, right? So it works. Game's popular. He's talking about Diablo 2. So it works. It works. So we're looking forward to it. They said that this will come around monthly, and it will lean into the new teams and into the chapters and into the ages. So I don't know if you guys are noticing a pattern, right? So it looks like there's some thinking that we'll have Battle World. We'll have this pocket. There'll be a pocket dimension and a tower. So every week, something extra will be happening. So I don't know what you think about that. Definitely like to hear feedback if that's the way, because that's the kind of stuff we want to pass on. Is that good? Is that bad? Is that too much? Is that too little? But it looks like they're putting a pattern together, which is cool. I like that. And I think that I wrote Victoria Hand free to play down again. just to remind it, hey, we're using our roster. So that's the thing we got to keep in mind, is we're using our roster. So learn the characters, as we'll do when they come out. Use what you can use. That might be different than what somebody else is doing. Again, if we're playing free to play, we're not going to have the whole Thunderbolt team, which is fine, right? We can just do what we can do, and we'll go from there. So that's all I got on the new roguelike game mode. Tell me what you think. Am I on to something? Black Panther stuff, August. Will that tie in to chapter 2? I think it will. That's what I think right now. Kate Bishop, I don't know. New Avengers, I didn't talk about that, I guess. New Avengers, I didn't see anything product-wise for New Avengers. Maybe Kate Bishop ends up on that team. Maybe she ends up reworked on a different team, but then what team would that be? Would it be the Young Avengers? Would it be her and Hawkeye? I don't know. Whoa, what's up, man? What's up? How's it going, my guy? Kate Bishop, I'll entertain you real quick. No problem at all. Let me see if I can find the picture. So we were talking about, just got to find the picture again real quick. That one there. So that was what they showed on the strike time as a placeholder for, they said, somebody said placeholder. So in the command center for chapter 2. So she's standing there along with Black Panther and Shuri. So I was just trying to figure out, is something going on Marvel wise with Kate Bishop? So I know she's a young Avenger. I didn't see anything on the slate for her. I didn't see like the next Hawkeye. I didn't look super hard for her either, though, now that I think about it. But I didn't see a continuation with the Hawkeye series. I didn't see anything for Young Avengers. So I don't, the comics, I don't, comics are tough to pin down. So in the comics, I didn't see anything coming out, but they don't necessarily always line up because comics don't follow the same pattern. They wouldn't necessarily, that's, you're right. 3 reworks, it doesn't happen very often. 2 new, 3 old doesn't happen very often. So I was thinking maybe she would be on a different team. She would be on her own team with something else. And so I was just trying to figure out what that could be, and I wasn't able to come up with anything. But Eyes of Wakanda, that's coming out in August. Chapter 2 of the Age of Annihilus, August, falls inside that window. So maybe there's something going on there. That's my tinfoil hat. That's my conspiracy theory. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there to give my experience. I enjoyed the game mode. I liked it. I think it's fun. I think it's gonna be something good, something fun for people to do. And as always, I'll be looking for the feedback. So make sure you give them that feedback. Let them know what you like, what you did, how it can be improved, and they'll keep building it. Any other thoughts and questions? Throw them out there. Otherwise, we're gonna try to get out and cut that grass. Yeah, man. Age of Wakanda. I had it. What did I have? Eyes of Wakanda, August 6th, animated series. August 6th. So that falls inside of that timeline for when the chapter 2 of the Age of Annihilus would start. Fan for July. Hellfire Club. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to see. I wish I did. I didn't get a chance to see though. Do you think there'll be a Crucible team, or do you think that they will be the new mutant raid team? Or there'll be a war. At some point, we got to get another arena team too, right? At some point, another arena team has to show up. Mutant raid team. I think that's a good guess. Do you think, man, at some point, another raid team has to show up? Usually. I guess they didn't always do it. There's some teams that have went over 2 years. Is that when we got our Annihilators? That sounds right too. Somewhere in there, Fantastic Four also, right? They're going to do something for that movie. 100%. They're definitely going to do something for the Fantastic Four. But no, I'm curious to see, man. I'm curious to see. Hey, I don't know too if you've noticed, anybody out there. I don't know if you guys have noticed, like, people are coming back to the game. People are coming back to the game. There's, right, if you look at the Marvel Strike Force, the official Discord, just people looking for alliances, returning player, returning player, returning player. Uh, there's this Discord out there called the Sacred Timeline that's just dedicated to helping people play the game. And you got a lot of people popping in there. Hey, I'm a returning player. Big accounts coming back to see. So I mean, that's good. That's good. So we had the Annihilators were in August, Secret Defenders were in September. Okay, well, this fall. Coming around to Wakanda. Yeah, man. I'm for sure. right? So I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I know people are leaving, and people are definitely like we got an alliance. We got a new player alliance. That's so the ours is full. The second one that came out after us is full, and we're working on filling up the third guy right now. I need a couple more recruits, but we were full like a couple of days ago. So we'll see what happens. I agree. Then I won't build Alpha Flight. I won't have to build that Alpha Flight for the new team. If we get a new Spotlight raid, then I won't have to build that Alpha Flight. And that's what I'm still working on the core raid teams on the new account right now. And then I'm debating whether or not I would have to work on Alpha Flight or if I should just try to pivot to the Annihilators. I got tons of power cores. So I don't really need to hit Arena hard right now, but it has to happen at some point. Yeah, man, I think for Spotlight, Wakanda fits it for Spotlight. So we're saying Fantastic Four and Hellfire in. So you're saying those are both coming out on the next round on the July, August, September. It's Fantastic Four and the Hellfire Club. And then Wakanda, I'm guessing, is going to be in there as well. All right. So agreeing with that. So I think Wakanda is going to be in there as well. That's 3-ish months. That's 3-ish teams. We'll have to see. That looks good. That looks like that's locked. That's locked in. So let's hope so. Hellfire, Mutant Raid team, Fantastic Four, the Spotlight Raid team, plus War. I'd be down for that. I like Alliance War. So anytime we get more War teams, I'm 100%. I'm 100% on. Do you think they'll rework all four? No, that doesn't make sense. So it'll give us. You think they'll give us new versions of what? Mr. Fantastic? A new version of Visible Woman, Mr. Fantastic, and rework Johnny and the Thing. So those ones will be new characters. Johnny and the Thing will be brand new characters, and then they'll rework Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman, or the other way around. And then who would sub in? Reworked Johnny and the Thing, getting the rework, brand new versions for Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman. So then who would be the fifth? Or are they just going to leave it open? Just do 4. Who would be the fifth? I'm thinking if they're going with the movie, I'm thinking, I keep saying that, the female version of the Silver Surfer. I think so too. Charlotte Ball, Mr. Fantastic Classic, Invisible Woman Classic as characters. Rework Johnny and the Thing. Yeah, like I think that fits, man. And I think that it might be one of those rare cases that, again, that's just my theory, that they also then rework the Silver Surfer we got right now. So we got Norrin Rad, and we'll have Shala Ball, and then maybe one of them has more of a Crucible specific kit, and the other one has more of a War specific kit, and you can flip that one person in and out to make the team usable in both of those modes, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's just what I was thinking. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Man, no, this has been good, bro. Altanak, always appreciate you, bro. 100% appreciate you all the time. I'm gonna kick it. I'm gonna jump. I gotta go do some yard work. We gotta get this grass cut. and I got some seedlings popping up, man. I might gotta plant some stuff. We'll see if the garden can last till fall. I did good last year. Last year, I actually it didn't die. It didn't die. I made it through. I planted some squash. I got like 2 the whole season, but hey, they didn't die. Take care of yourself, bro. Always appreciate you. You guys take care of yourselves and your families. Peace. Ooh.